The 18th chapter of Jeremiah reads from the verse 1 through 6. The word of the Lord which came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Arise and go to the potter's house, and there I will cause thee to hear my words. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he brought a work on the wheel. He wrought a work on the wheel. The vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So he made it again, another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make. And then the word of the Lord came to me, saying, O house of Israel, cannot I do with you as this potter? Said the Lord. Behold, as the clay is in the potter's hands, so are you in my hand, O house of Israel. Since this is the youth sermon, I want to speak to you. This is not Harry Potter's house. This is not Harry Potter's house. And I guess the question is, have you ever read to the youth and to the older ones a fairy tale? Fairy tales are children's stories about unbelievable things that happens in other worlds to funny, amusing, and amazing characters. And in many ways, it illumes and imitates the people children see in the real world. In fairy tales, they say that children learn about good and evil, and they dream. And in fairy tales, you see that there's always a witch or an evil person. You know, you may not agree with me, but there's always a witch or evil person, and simply there's always some character, understandably so, who's always good. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fairy tales out there. Even one is a show right now on television on ABC called Once Upon a Time. And it talks about all of these fairy tales. And even when you think about the fairy tales, the long listing lines and the ones that's been made out of movies, we think about one of the first ones in the 30s when there was The Wizard of Oz. Michael Jackson and Diana Ross came back around and called it The Wiz. It was a complete story that had all of the characters that one would want to see and realize. It was complete with a good witch. It was complete with a bad witch. It was complete with a tin man. It was complete with a scarecrow. It was complete with a lion. It was complete with a main character named Dorothy and a little dog named Toto. Am I right? Everyone knew that, and everyone knows that fairy tales are not true. I hope everyone knows that they're not true. You know, but we can dream of the Emerald City of Oz. And we can believe that if it was true, and that if we could be as courageous as Dorothy, we would get home one day. Every generation has fairy tales in it. And there have been storms of protests over one of the current fairy tales, and that is the writings of Miss Rowling, J.K. Rowling, about Harry Potter. You know, the little British boy who was plunged into the world of wizardry and witchcraft, the world of Hogwarts, to fight evil and to champion good. You know, this is a series of a modern day fairy tale that's complete with all of the characteristics and all of the characters. And the main theme and character that stands out, the main thing that stands out is in these stories, there is always good trying to triumph over evil. They protested the books when they were first written. They burned the books. Preachers of the Gospels said that it was witchcraft. You know, they did everything possible to make people turn away. There were revivals and crusades. But we've learned through the years the best way to get someone to really do something is to tell them, don't do it. So that old maximum was true. To get the people to do something was to tell them, don't read it. And because of that, millions and millions, hundreds of millions of the book have been purchased and bought and sold. And now Harry Potter is a household name. Writer Christine Neal, Connie Neal, in her book, What is a Christian to Do with Harry Potter, suggests that there are many parallels between the fairy tale world of Harry Potter and that of the young believers in our congregations. She suggests that Christian parents should help children see the parallels and use Harry Potter as a true tool in the Christian faith. Like any fairy tale, rather than to view it as a heretic or something that should be banned, it should be used in a manner to bring about and to teach good and how good triumphs over evil. Who is Harry Potter? A fictional character. Lived with his relatives in a little storage space under the stairs. And they treated him, according to the movies, like a throwaway stepchild. Some of y'all know how that is. He realized as he was growing that there was something special about him, that he could make some things happen. One day, a special invitation came for the young Mr. Harry Potter to visit the land of Hogwarts, a magical parallel world that existed alongside of the current world that he was in. And Harry was invited and convinced that if he entered into this parallel world, that he would find his true destiny. If he chose to accept the invitation, he would soon be shown how to enter the magical world by stepping into a portal, an invisible portal at the train station between tracks 9 and 10. And once he was in the world of Hogwarts, he would be schooled in the magical arts and prepared to meet his destiny. Once in the magical realm, he attended the school of witchcraft and wizardry.